Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Martin here from Kodiak. In the house, like always, I found this little grandstand. But today, we're gonna talk about the 8 dark signs you're considered an attractive person, even if you don't think so. Because believe you me, gentlemen, a lot of the times you're not even aware of the fact that you're attractive. And at the same time, I don't think I've ever really talked about these signs in the past. So buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. So, without further ado, let's get straight to the video, shall we? So, the very first thing we have to talk about here is that people assume you're taken or that you're out of their league instantly, without even trying. And I think this is a problem that a lot of attractive people are going to face. Especially, I think this kind of problem is pretty much universal. It applies to men and women. Gentlemen, be honest with me here. When you see a very attractive lady that's walking down the street, what's your first thought? You're like, she must have a boyfriend. She's probably in a relationship. Where in fact, I can tell you from experience, usually the most attractive people, they're single. Men and women. Which is a paradox in a way, because you would think the exact opposite. It doesn't make sense, right? But it's a real thing. And the reason why, and I think at the same time, the reason why a lot of people are instantly projecting that onto you is because they have a lot of insecurity. A lot of people are not confident in who they are, especially with social media. People are constantly comparing their looks 24/7, and it's a normal thing, So if you're getting, if people are instantly assuming that you're taken or that you're not available, that's actually a sign that you're really attractive, even if you don't think so. And which actually leads me to my next sign, which is going to be, you're often met with coldness or passive aggressiveness, especially from people from the same sex. Right? This makes no sense, but it's a real thing. So, if you're a guy and you're watching this, you're going to be met with a lot of hostility and a lot of ineptness from people. And I don't know how to explain it, but if you're a guy and you're watching this and you're attractive, you know exactly what I'm talking about. People have this, when they see you, it's almost like they have this weird energy with them. It's usually very toxic. It's very subtle though. It's not direct in most cases, and you're not gonna notice it unless you really look out for it. But this can happen anywhere, at the workplace, at the gym, with your normal friends, especially if you've had a little glow up like me. It's very apparent. You're met with a lot of because when you're attractive, you're a lot of people are going to expose themselves. They're gonna their insecurities will just they're going to be unleashed to the world, especially when they see you. And it's just a normal thing. There's nothing you can do about it, but it's a real problem, believe me. And the same thing happens to ladies, by the way. Ladies, you're going to experience the same thing. Women, I think women get even more jaded with it. When you're a beautiful lady and you're trying to make friends, a lot of women are gonna be like, but she's such a bitch. She's that's a whole different thing, by the way. People are gonna assume that you're this and that without ever knowing you. But it's a problem in and of its own. Okay, sign number 3. You're sexualized or objectified quickly, meaning people think that you're just good just because of your looks. And a lot of times people are so shallow with it. And I think this kind of mentality usually comes from the social media world, because every single thing is all about looks. It's all about wealth. It's all about being flashy and having, things. And people fail to really dig deep down and understand who you really are as a person. And I think this is a real problem. People just think that you're good because of your looks, and they really most people. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be everybody, but most people, for that matter, are gonna fail to really dig deep down and understand who you really are as a person, because they're just gonna focus on your looks, right? They're just gonna be like, oh, this guy's attractive, this girl's beautiful, she's hot, I could never be friends with her, but that's the type of preconceived notions and beliefs people are going to have about you right from the get-go. And it's not a problem with you. And this is something that I had to realize. It is not a problem with you. It is just how most people are programmed. So, instead of getting to know you, people will just jump straight into the sexual innuendos, you know. And it's a real pain in the ass, especially with women. Like, a lot of women would just want to be with you because you're attractive. And it's usually pretty good for, you know, one night stands, but if you're looking for something else, if you're looking for something more, then that can be a big pain in the ass, believe me. So, people will just like, and that's a whole different thing, by the way. Like, when you're attractive, it's almost like, and I've talked about this on many videos in the past, it's almost like women don't give you any resistance. They just like you instantly. So, but that's a plus in my opinion. Next thing, number 4. People expect you to have an ego, even if you don't. So, the thing is, if you're attractive, people will instantly assume that you're arrogant, especially if you're a confident guy. And even if you're not confident, you're still gonna face the same kind of resistance. You're gonna go through the same kind of BS. People will give you all kinds of nicknames. People will think that you're shallow. People will think that you're superficial just because you look good. And especially if you take care of your looks and you're proud of it, bro, you're gonna be met with a lot of harsh critics. I'm telling you. People are not gonna be fair with you in that, you know, regard. But this is just part of life, in my opinion. You just have to deal with it. So, you can be the nicest person. You can be kind. You can be generous. You can be very giving. But people will fail to recognize it. People will just think that you're shallow or arrogant because of your looks. And again, you can be the nicest person on the planet, right? But that's just how most people are today. They fail to get it. So, but that's a real problem in my opinion. Because you can be a really good guy, but people will not notice it. People will just like look at your looks and be like, "Oh, this guy is blessed. He's gifted. He has everything, right? He was born that way." So, it is what it is, man. Number 5. It is bizarre, but it makes a lot of sense if you think about it, because this is just how attractive people are presented on social media and movies, on all these sitcoms. That's just how it is. Usually the attractive guys are always the bad guys. The guys who are the cheaters, the guys who are the liars, right? All these sexual abusers, they're usually the bad guys. And at the same time, they're usually attractive. So, makes a lot of sense if you think about it. So, number 5, and this is a really powerful one, bro. You're treated like a threat in relationships, especially if you're trying to connect with people from the same sex. If you're trying to connect with your sex peers, right? It is so crucial. It happens all the time. And this is a real struggle of attractive people. Like, if you're a guy like me and you're attractive, you're gonna have a hard time building real authentic friendships. People will judge you, people will be really harsh, people will instantly assume that you're gonna take their girl, especially if they're in relationships, bro. Woo! It's gonna happen. And particularly if their girl is liking you more, oh man, be prepared for the bomb. It's coming. It's coming. The asteroid is coming. I'm telling you, bro. So, I know it can be a little bit weird at times, but this is just something that you have to deal with. This is just part of your daily reality. It's gonna come naturally. And people will come up with all kinds of nicknames. People will think that you're, and not just in relationships, but also, like, let's just imagine if you're hanging out with your bros, you want to go to the club, you want to go to parties. People will think that you're gonna get all the girls. People will think that you're gonna steal all the girls. People think that you're gonna be, people think that you're gonna take the spotlight and everything else. But it's not always like that. You know, there's room for everybody, guys. But they don't get it. They don't get it because most of the time they're not applying that hard work. They're not doing any kind of self-development at all. And it's a real pain in the ass, but whatever. You know, it is what it is. So, number 6. People stalk you on social media, but rarely engage in real life. And this is a real thing. Like, this is like, guys, you've probably experienced this in the past. Like, have you guys ever met like these women who are very shy in real life, but on social media, on dating apps, they're very talkative, they're very social, they're very engaging, they want to keep the conversation going 24/7? Bro, that's a real thing. Because you're intimidating people. And a lot of the times people, all of this, like all these points, by the way, they all stem from one thing: insecurity and social anxiety. People have no confidence today. And like I said like I said before, you're gonna face a lot of hostility from people, and you're not immune to it. It's gonna come your way. So the bottom line is, people will be very talkative. People will be very engaging and active on social media, but in real life, it's gonna be absent. Like, people will pretend like they're not interested, especially women. I found here in Eastern Europe, it's happening all the time. Polish girls, Slavic girls, they're like that. I'm telling you, bro. Like, that's like a little bit of a stereotype with Polish girls or Slavic women in general. They're very shy, but at the same time, they like you. They pretend like they can't see you. It's almost like they're uninterested on purpose, but deep down, they love the shit out of you. But it's just part of life, bro. I know that American women and British women and Western women in general are very different. They're a lot more direct. But if you're attractive, I think you're gonna experience it to some degree. And depending on where you live, obviously. But it's gonna come your way in some shape or form. So, number 7. And this is also a very surprising one, by the way, but you're gonna face it. You're underestimated intellectually or professionally. Meaning, if you're attractive, be prepared to face a lot of stereotypes coming your way. Meaning, people are gonna assume that you're shallow. People are gonna think that you're dumb and that you're uneducated, just because you look good. People are gonna think that you just care about your looks, that you're this mighty evil guy, that you have this big ego, that you're never gonna connect with people, that you're never gonna take care of your job professionally. People assume that you're never gonna be serious and all these things. But it's a whole bunch of BS. It's a whole bunch of BS. Especially at the work environment. Bro, man. It's coming. It's coming your way. I'm telling you. And there's nothing you can do about it. But expect it. It's gonna come. People are gonna underestimate your abilities and your skill set. Just because of the fact that you look good. And it's a real pain in the ass, in my opinion. But don't let it get in your way, bro. Just don't. Have that confidence, stand tall, and act with confidence. Don't let it bother you. Because the worst thing you can do in this kind of situation is that when it affects you the wrong way, that's the worst thing that can happen. Just don't be bothered by it. Just let it fly, right? Just throw it into the dumpster and leave it. You don't need that kind of shit in your life. But this is why it's so important that you surround yourself with the right people. And don't let it affect you. Because if it does, it's your problem. It's your fault. Sorry guys, they're having a little soccer match right in front of me. But it's raining like crazy, bro. It was dry the whole day, but it just started to rain like out of nowhere. And last but not least, this is also a very dark sign, and you're going to experience this to some degree. You're gossiped about more often. And this happens everywhere, by the way. At the workplace, at school, at the gym, with your family. Bro, you're usually going to be the center of the attention in people's conversations. With family members, bro, they're going to judge you and be really harsh with their critique towards you. Straight up. It's a legitimate thing. And you're usually gonna be the main point of the conversation. People are gonna talk about your looks. People are gonna talk about your career. People are gonna talk about your life. People are gonna say that you made the wrong decision. People are just gonna gossip and spread rumors about you. And I know it's not fun because I don't really engage in that kind of thing. That's not for me. I'm above that. I always if I'm gonna talk about somebody, I always want to talk positively about them. That's my rule of thumb. If not, don't talk about it at all. So, take care of your own life. That's the only thing that's in your power and in your control. So, but you're gonna be subject to all of these signs. You're gonna face that kind of scrutiny, and there's nothing you can do about it. Because I know a lot of times, especially if you're going through all these problems, or if you're going through all these kind of trashy experiences, it feels like you're alone in this. I know you don't want to be judged. You don't want to be like put down on all these things. However, accept this. It is not your fault. Especially if you're a good guy and you're very giving, you're spreading positivity, you're happy, you're influencing people the right way. It's not your problem. If people are being mad about you just because you look good, if people are spreading rumors, if people are, I don't know, gossiping behind your back, don't care about it. If people are spreading lies about you, if people have this kind of prejudice against you, it's none of your business. That's the best advice I can give you guys. So, and also, number 9. This is also going to be a bonus one, by the way. I'm pretty nice here. I'm generous, as you can probably see. People usually approach you with a lot of prejudice, meaning people either like you from the beginning or they're going to hate you for no reason. That's what I found. You're going to be met with a lot of polarized opinions. People either like you a lot right from the beginning without doing anything. They're going to be super nice, super kind. They're going to give you all kinds of gifts. They're going to be very positive. They're going to be very engaged in the whole thing and actually giving you a positive experience, especially if you're a customer. Or you're going to be met with a lot of negativity. You're going to be treated like complete dirt. Right? People are going to treat you like complete garbage. They're not going to be attentive towards you. They're going to like throw all these comments your way. They're gonna be like, oh, it's this guy. He's stupid. He's like this. He thinks he's just this good-looking guy. He's not attentive. He's dumb. But again, it's none of your business. And this kind of hostility and this kind of negativity and condescending behavior is usually going to come from people who are less attractive than you, men and women, which is a very strange thing, isn't it? Because I found attractive people, bro, attractive men and beautiful women, they're usually very cool. Like all the chads that I know in real life, they're all super cool dudes, man. Same thing with all these baddies I know. They're very kind, they're feminine, they're positive, they're funny to be around, they're fun to be around, and I mean, it is what it is, but you can't do anything about it. So anyway, guys, if you can relate to all the signs that I've just talked about, there's a really high chance you're attractive. If you're experiencing all of them, bro, you're attractive. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'm gonna go home. I just have to wait it out because it's raining like mad. It's raining like crazy, man. It's mad. So, by the way, we have a free Discord group that you guys can join down below. But that's pretty much it. Have a beautiful day, guys. Peace.